I'm Rachel,
And I'm Jen.
and we are the Sacred Text, a Star Wars podcast.
We're discussing all kinds of print media from a galaxy far, far away, reviewing canon comics and books, and talking to authors, artists, and other Star Wars nerds.
So strap yourselves in as we make the jump to light speed. Punch it, Jen. Hey, hello.
Hello, everyone. Man, we got some good stuff to talk about today, right?
Yeah, we will be talking about Into the Light Part 2. And this Part 2, I was like, yeah, the Part 2 will be shorter because there'll be battles. And all you have to do is say, there was a battle. There was definitely battles, but oh my God, there was so much to these battles.
There's a
Claudia,
lot
the
happening.
story was amazing. I am so excited to talk about this section. It's amazing. Just
Yeah.
FYI, hopefully it's chapters 19 through 36 if we don't take
Nice.
5 years.
Yeah. If it ends before 36 in this recording, you'll know that we just went over by 3 hours and had to cut it. Just go ahead and jump into it unless you have some fun Star Wars news. Anything going on that you want to talk about?
I was just really excited about the Star Pilots novel by Dr. Chris Kempshall. That sounds super amazing. That's not going to be highlighting Wedge Antilles, but also other pilots as well. And hope we get a Hera Syndulla story in there.
Imagine.
Right? That would be so cool. But that comes out October 2026.
Any other Star Wars news?
That's all I had.
All right, then we're going to hop right into it. We're starting with chapter 19. And did this start in any way how you thought it would?
Not even at all.
No, because I feel like we don't get a lot of Aslan's perspectives in general across all stories.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do we get like an Aslan perspective, but it's a childhood dream. He's basically having a dream about something that happened during his childhood.
Crazy.
Yeah, flashback time. He's a youngling. He's with a bunch of other younglings, and Master Arkov is there too, and he kind of wakes up from this dream in the real time, you know, when he's back on Kashyyyk, and he smells stew cooking and thinks, I wonder if the Jedi Order still goes and has fun adventures like they did in his dream that he was remembering, because he had been on Kashyyyk when he was young. We've talked about this, I think, last time.
Yeah, I thought this dream was really interesting, and it was heartbreaking to see Aslan as a young kid being just like full of joy and wonder at all the animals and plant life, and it just reminds me of the young Aslan that we met in Phase 2. You know, the one that was
hurt my heart
surfing on the grass, chasing grass sharks. Oh, I will never forget.
Feels like so long ago. But it is sad that we knew him at a time when he was happy, and now he kind of feels like his life is basically over and he only has this one purpose left, right? To kind of defeat the Nameless.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it, and it's very sad.
Get revenge.
Yeah.
I guess Reath allows Aslan to go on a walkabout, so Aslan's just like walking about the village and just like making comments to people here and there, listening to their conversation. And Nan at one point just is so fed up by his creepiness, she just yells at him to stop. And they kind of have this argument back and forth about why she cares so much. Unfortunately, though, this really puts Aslan in a terrible mindset, and he starts to think about the Nameless again, which gets him to start singing the lullaby, the Sri Karai lullaby. And I'm like, gosh dang it, Nan, why didn't you just leave him alone? Who cares if he's creepy? Just
He makes me feel a little better about my social interactions, because none of them, I don't think, have been this bad. It was fun, too. There's a long description about how he sees the world through the Force now that he can't physically see. And I loved that we got that description. He essentially sees a picture in his mind because the Force is helping him construct that with his other senses.
That is really cool.
Super cool. So we go over to Nan's POV after this creepy session with Aslan, and she keeps wanting to find a moment to pick up Avon's scanning device without her noticing.
I know.
Aslan had interrupted and ruined her chance, but we know she's gonna keep trying.
Nana's up to no good. I don't trust this character at all. So we switch over to Dr. Mcampa, and she is pissed about not being able to find whatever it is she's looking for. And we don't really get, she doesn't say what it is. All we get is the little snippet of clue, which is that has something to do with the Sith. So guessed at that because she had the Sith holocron and it was leading her to Kashyyyk. So
Yeah.
it makes sense that whatever it is she's looking for has to do something with the Sith, but that is all.
Left us hanging.
They did. Yeah. Early the next morning, Reith joins the Jedi meditation team in hopes of sensing whatever this darkness that Belka had warned everybody about. And so he joins the team, and as he's reaching out, he senses the blight ahead, but all of a sudden there's this weird slithering sound. He's like, that sounds really familiar. What could that be? And it takes him a moment to finally register what it is. What is it?
The Drengir.
Oh my god, they're coming!
These Jedi cannot catch a break.
They really can't.
The rest, and spoiler alert, the rest of this book, they can't catch a break.
I know, they came here for one job, and that is to deal with the blight. And that by itself is a massive undertaking. And now you've got Dr. Mcampa and the Drengir and Nan's shenanigans. Too much.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And with a lot, we're going to chapter 20. Sweet Amadeo.
Oh
Our
my
lovely
god,
Amadeo.
I know.
I know.
He tries so
hears
hard.
Reith shout that they're under attack, and he runs over to find this like mass of Drengir attacking the Jedi. And I was kind of cracking up. I understand the premise of it, but the mental image that half the meditation team couldn't be bothered. They're just staying in meditation and doing their thing. And if they die, I guess.
Yeah. I took it as the meditation team was so determined to keep the blight at bay. The blight and the Drengir combined would be a bad combo. Because the blight would be like, oh my god, the darkness, let me feed on it. It's true. Yeah, poor Amadeo joins the fight, and he's trying his best to battle this Drengir. I think he gets like one good move in, and he's like, haha, I did it. And then the Drengir slaps him on his back, and then he's down for the count for the rest of the battle. And,
He made it
that's
like 40 seconds.
He did.
Sweet angel.
Yeah, but also he used to fight with his master. Amadeo and Miro had that really cool fighting strategy where they worked together, and like they were such a team that I almost feel like Amadeo doesn't know how to fight without him.
Honestly, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's gonna have to learn. The Wookiees also run into the fight. Love that. Love that everyone's helping each other.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when Aslan, who is in his hut with Dez, gets like, oh, what's going on? He knows the Jedi are fighting something, and he's kind of like, I miss the thrill of combat. It's been a minute. So he gets up, and he just jumps.
Does he like forward roll off
Yeah, like
I think of like diving.
Think of. Diving, yeah. Like completely forward rolls and just falls down to the
I just imagine him
This
just
man
going,
is blind.
But he can see the Force? Question.
Ugh, I know. And he doesn't use levitation or slow his descent with the Force like the Jedi do, right? What does he do to prevent himself from just squashing onto the ground?
He turns into a Force lightning human thing. This is terrifying.
It is, but it's also so cool.
Uh-huh.
I love a good Force lightning. This is like Force lightning on speed.
Absolutely. Like, I don't think we've ever seen this, at least in canon.
No.
A figure completely engulfed in lightning and using it to attack things the way he is. It's very cool.
Yes. Yeah, he runs for the battle, and I'm sure everyone can assume how this is going to go, because I was assuming how this was going to go, that he was just going to fry everyone.
Oh, yeah.
That's not necessarily what he did, though. What did he do?
He jabs his hand into the center of the Drengir and rips out the Drengir's core stem.
Literally punches into what would basically be a spine for the Drengir and pulls it out. Oh.
I didn't even know this existed in the Drengir.
I didn't either, and I'm sure nobody did except for Aslan, apparently, who felt it and was like, yeah, that's the spot. Oh my gosh. Imagine poor Amadeo just on his back, and then all of a sudden Aslan comes in on like a cloud of lightning and then punches a Drengir and pulls its spine out.
Oh my god.
This is
Poor
horrifying,
Amadeo.
but I also just love it so much.
Yeah, we move over to Avon's POV, who is very clearly not a fighter. So instead of fighting, she does what any normal person would do, which is to quickly research the blight. Yeah, she realizes that the meditation team has broken apart, and so only half are actually actively working on keeping the blight at bay. So it must have leaped forward a bit, and so she wants new blight samples. So she gets all of her sample kits and rushes over.
What does she see though? Because it's not what she was expecting.
No, she sees a Amadeo sprawled on the ground, injured, and then even creepier is Aslan over 3 dead Drengir. And he looks like did they explain it, like a charhound that had
Yes.
a toy or something? Like, oh my
gosh.
gosh.
It's so cool. And I feel so bad for Amadeo. He's ashamed because he got hurt pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
But it brought about this good conversation with Wreath, where Wreath reminds him that what matters was his bravery, that he just leapt into battle. And him encountering something dangerous and being hurt could have been literally any of them.
Mm-hmm.
It was just up to chance and had
Totally.
nothing to do with Amadeo's like spirit or how good he is.
I really like that as well. Yeah, we move over POVs to the Drengir. The poor surviving Drengir are just like hobbling back to, I guess, the innovator.
Yeah. Do you think they were so embarrassed?
Yeah, I bet they were, but also so confused too, because they ran into that mess with this crazed sense to demolish everything, and they don't know why. And that
And
is
they
not
always
like
know
them.
why.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like they know they're being compelled to do these things, and they really don't appreciate that because that's not how they like to function.
All right. 21.
Yeah.
While everyone else is dealing with the after effects of the Drangiric attack, Avon is hyperfixating on the blight. She's collecting her samples and she's very excited. I guess they created this lift for all the injured, and she decides she's going to take that too because it's just too much work to climb up those trees.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So she goes back to her laboratory and begins to study her samples. And I love those. She sees this shadowy shape in the tree that's like really creepy like, and she just goes, well, that's why you don't go off running off in the woods by yourself, and then goes back to her tinkering.
Too casual for me. I would have been like, absolutely not.
Same.
There's giant spiders on this planet, so we need to be more concerned about the black shadow outside your window. Des and Wreath do a little debrief after. And Des is obviously like, so about Aslan?
I know.
That was horrifying. And obviously there's something dark-sided happening on the planet that everyone can feel, and the Drengir here, which are dark-sided. And he's like, hey, so Aslan could potentially just completely lose it and basically either join up with these other forces going on or whatever. He's just super concerned, and that's fair. Wreath doesn't view it though. He's kind of viewing all of this as like a weapon to help them.
I mean, I will say that Aslan's technique is very effective, so I understand that perspective. Like, it's quick and somewhat painless. So, quick death, very little loss of life to everybody else. So you could just like throw Aslan at the Drengir and call it a day.
Yeah.
So
logistically, it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Morally, I understand that the Jedi are really not into using the dark side of the Force. That's kind of their whole shtick. Wreath, I think, is reconsidering in this moment because it just might be their only option right now.
Yeah. But Wreath has always been like toying the line between light side, dark side, and it's very interesting.
Naturally, Nan is creeping on this conversation.
Oh my god, why is she always listening to everybody's conversations?
I know, I'm like, how do you just flit over to every conversation?
Isn't
jumping
she
in through the trees?
Cell or room?
I don't even know. But somehow she listens to everyone's conversations. And she's like, hey, so remember that time you guys brought me here because I can find Dr. Mkampa? I bet she can answer questions about the Drengir as she's figured out a way to control them, which is a fact she neglected to directly tell the Jedi prior to this moment.
I was so mad for Reed. Just like, what do you mean she can control the Drengir, and why are you just saying this now?
Nan doesn't care about making Wreath mad. She's
Hmm.
just curious about like why send the Dringir after the Jedi?
Oh,
What is
yeah.
Mkampa's purpose in doing that? And she manages to basically talk her way into helping a search team find Dr.
She does. So, but she will be tied up, of course. So don't you worry about that. It'll go totally
Everything's
well.
fine.
Yes.
And don't worry, Nan also sees a large shadow outside of her window. And Super Cash brushes it off. Why are we brushing this off?
I know. Oh my gosh. Um, oh yeah, Avon bursts into the room and needs to show Reed something,
Oh,
so they
God.
end up taking off. And Avon points out the blight and samples that she has collected and the rate of decay, and how both the old sample and the new sample, the rate is exactly the same. And she explains that this is not at all how diseases work, and that this is something more similar to like the half-life of a radioactive isotope, which means that the blight is not tied to natural order, but more tied to the force and the nameless. Yikes.
Yeah, they're not, at least from her current perspective,
Mm,
there is no way for them to come up with a cure because it's not something that exists in the natural world.
totally.
And that is so depressing.
They both get so depressed, and they both sit there and think that there's absolutely no cure to the blight. And they decide to not tell anybody about it yet because they're worried it will cause widespread panic, which, okay, I get. This is also where I get confused because doesn't Reith know that by returning the Nameless to Planet X, that stops the blight? That is a
That was,
thing that
yeah,
he
because that
knew.
was one of his like theories that he talked about, right?
Yeah, maybe we just forgot about that for a moment.
All right, with that, chapter 22. I thought this portion was going to play out longer, but we find out what the Black Shadow thing is. I thought that was going to be a big reveal that that
I
was the
did too.
dark-sided thing.
Uh-huh.
It's a Wugatan,
Yeah.
some not well-studied animal that exists on Kashyyyk, and it's not well-studied because the zoologists who had tried had all died. The attempts to study it.
Wow.
Yeah, and we're finding out this information via the Dringir. The Dringir don't know, like, specifically everything about this creature, but they can feel its presence, and they know it's dangerous.
And normally that means the Drankyr would just leave it alone and go look for an easier prey,
Yep.
as most predators do. But no, they are compelled, oddly, to attack this Wugatan, and it does not go well at all. Apparently, the Wugatan kills 2 Drankyr and then severely injures the great progenitor.
Oh.
Yikes.
And it doesn't even give them that much meat.
Well, they don't eat all of it.
Yeah.
I guess they only eat half and then bury the rest of it.
Yeah, they're preparing nutrient-rich beds
Mm-hmm.
with which to soil their seed.
It's so strange.
It is. I mean, like you said, though, they're frustrated because they would have never taken that chance and kind of wasted their own lives for not that much food. They're very confused by this.
I know, like, how many seeds are they planting?
It better be a lot if they're hoping to do anything.
We switch over to the main group in the village, and as soon as Appy hears that Nan is joining the team, not only is she going to volunteer to help with the search, but she's also going to put a better tracking device and tether on Nan. And this tracking device is such that Nan will get shocked if she goes too far from the person who's holding the control panel.
Yep. Yeah, and like, not like a zap.
No.
It's like if she keeps going, it will kill her.
Mm-hmm.
And Reith also wants a Wookiee on the team, right? Because that would make sense.
Totally.
There's this dangerous assortment of plant and animal life on Kashyyyk. But Burryaga and Kelnaka are feeling compelled to help with the meditation team.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to find somebody else. And they do. They decide to take Lagara, who is very eager to help.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she's an amazing warrior and is eager to do something to help with this. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the list of like who's coming and who's not going. Like Comac is not going because he's joining team meditation. Amadeo can't go because his back is injured. But we do get Des that will join the search party. And then no Aslan though.
The one who openly volunteers to go.
I know. And Reith, who was just a minute ago saying, I liked Aslan's dark side tendencies. They're very effective and useful. Now uses that to say that's why Aslan can't join the search party.
He's trying to be a good Jedi.
Yeah, he is.
I'm sure
It's
deep down
confusing.
he wishes Aslan could go. The search party heads out, and Nan is leading them, supposedly, as far as they know, towards a signal she thinks is coming from Dr. Nkampa's lab. And on the way, they learn way more than they want to know about all the dangerous creatures and plants on this planet. And it's a no from me. Everything sounded terrible. It reminded me of I know there's been 70 King Kong movies.
Oh my gosh.
The there's
Peter
one
Jackson
in particular, the Peter Jackson one, where
Yes.
they're in that ravine with all the bugs. This is what I thought of. So
yeah. You know what? Yes. There's a giant millipede that can kill a Wookiee in 5 minutes. Nope.
Absolutely not.
No, thank you. I like that everyone is just like, okay, we are just going to stand still and not to touch anything as we walk through the forest.
And I mean, unfortunately, that's not the only thing to fear for them, because a twig snaps near the group and Reith thankfully feels this ripple through the force and blaster bolts start coming towards them.
Yeah, not creatures attacking them anymore. It's enforcer droids.
Yeah. They're doing okay until they see the spider squall. And they're like, we might be outgunned with this in the mix.
I hated this squall spider thing because not only does it pop out of the trees, but it's got genuine, like, spindly spider legs, and it's just, like, creepily, like, running at them.
Ugh.
Dr. Campa, of course, is piloting. She's got like a crazy face and she's just like, ah.
And she like points out Nan and Avon and is like, I'm gonna tell Marchion about your side quest. Nan is like, no prob, and grabs Affy's blaster before she can even be stopped and fires it right at her, but it just bounces off the window that she's protected by, and she flies the squall spider away. I really wish it could have gone through that windshield, but here we are.
I agree. But then we wouldn't have all the fun adventure that happens next.
It's true. For a hot second, just the 1 second, they debate just telling Marchion Ro about Dr. Nkampa's side quest and letting him take care of her himself. Thankfully, that gets tossed out the window, but they should not be talking to Marchion in any sort of way.
Absolutely not. Yeah, and then Des kind of stumbles a little bit and says that he's in so much pain because the darkness is very close.
I know, I got so excited going into chapter 23, and it was like, they head back to the Wookiee village, and I was like, ugh!
I know!
Come on!
There's so much like back and forth between like adventuring in the wilderness and then back to the village.
Yeah. Okay, in fairness though, something is happening at the village. So it's not like a complete nothing's happening. I just really wanted them to keep going.
Me too.
Whatever. On the way back, Logara senses something and just takes off for the village. And it's gotta be something to do with the blight that's happening. So
based on her
be
reaction.
Good.
I know, totally. Yeah, so they get back to the area where the blight is. And they find out that the blight suddenly and very unexpectedly expanded in this large way. And not only that, there's a giant spike that came out from the main center that's pointing eastward, and it's touched all of these plants and even a Rorschach tree, and all of the Wookiees are freaking out. They're very upset.
In a extreme sort of way, where Reith picks up that there's something extra with it. Obviously, it's an upsetting situation, but he can tell this goes beyond that. And it's almost like the Wookiees are all grieving something.
And I hate that Wookiees won't say what it is they're grieving about.
Yeah, they're keeping a little secret.
Yeah, they return to the village and Aslan is having a great time singing his Shri Karai song and mocking how the Wookiees were just going to love the blight to death, and he's just too much. Yeah. This is where we bounce around to different POVs. Or like Avon's worried about her mom and that Marchion's gonna kill her, and Nan is worried about Dr. Nkampa. But we find out that her sentry bracelet has been damaged in the fight, so there is that.
No. She cannot get free. She's crazy. And also in a hut above the village, we find out the Wookiees are holding a private meeting. And there's only one non-Wookiee off-worlder that was invited, which is amazing. It's Geode.
I love this so
I
much.
do too, because he's such a good objective listener and a calming
He
presence. So,
is. He is. I would invite Geo to a private meeting too.
same. I like, no offense, but you don't want non-Wookiee Jedi at this meeting. You
Mm-mm.
just don't. They're
Mm-mm.
gonna put their opinions in there, and this is obviously something so about the Wookiees and their culture, and
Mhm.
they just don't need the Jedi's help right now. They need to do this for themselves.
Yeah, apparently whatever it is that's eastward is very sacred, and the Wookiees have never shared what that thing is, and I guess they're arguing amongst themselves about whether they should share what this thing is with the non-Wookiees, and they can't come to a decision, so they decide that they're going to vote.
Yep.
And the winning vote is to tell the non-Wookiees what it is.
It's sad because it obviously means a lot to them that they
Mhm.
have this sort of like sacred secret, but they're persuaded at the end of the day to vote, you know, we have to tell them because
Yeah,
you're down to two options, which are keep this secret or survive. And
exactly.
unfortunately, surviving becomes more important than this thing, and it's sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like especially when it comes to a religious standpoint too, where you're not only protecting it because it's important to you religiously, but you also know that like other people might try and take that from you.
All right. Chapter from 24. Reeth and Avon are having a conversation while she's looking at Dringir sap.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about how, you know, even with no cure being possible to either of them, they still have to have something to go on. Like, the Blight can't just forever go and eat everything in the galaxy, right? There's got to be some end to it naturally in their minds. So maybe that's something to give them a little bit of hope. I think at this point, they're just grasping at straws, trying to feel okay about the fate
Totally.
of the galaxy.
Yeah, Avon opens up about her concerns with Dr. Mkampa talking to Markion Ro about Avon being there and what that means for her mom and whether Markion will kill Gira because of that. And I liked Reeth's response here, and it was very honest, and he wasn't sugarcoating it. And that was to
It's
say,
matter of fact, yeah.
yeah, it was that Markion will kill Gira when he wants to. And it won't have anything to do with Avon being and helping with the Jedi or not helping with the Jedi. And that's just kind of how Markion is. And
Well,
we get another Aslan dream.
I know. And this is like a melatonin dream. This is a crazy one. He imagines he's floating inside of nameless blood. Like
This
he's a
is
little vessel or something.
wild.
I know. Until he finds its heart.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, the nameless will pay for what they did. And he imagines himself turning into spikes and spears so that he could shred the heart to bits. It's wild.
It is. But oddly, before he's about to kill the Nameless, the dream suddenly changes and he's a child again back on Kashyyyk. And he and this little girl are jumping along an obstacle course that's built for children. We find out that Aslan was afraid of heights, but this little girl keeps encouraging him to run along with her. And at one point, she leaps down to where this massive bowl of candies are, and she's beckoning him to follow her. He's basically like, I'm afraid of heights, but not enough to not get candy. So
I know, it's so wholesome and wonderful. And then he wakes up and has this weird realization, which is that that girl was not a youngling in his group. He doesn't know who it was. And I mean, for us, that sounds normal. But for Aslan, he knows this means something and he just doesn't know what it is yet.
It's interesting. What is happening between these two dreams? Reeth goes to talk to Nan about why she was so intent on killing Dr. Mkampa, because that was not at all part of their plan.
I cringed through this whole thing.
I did too. And Nan is such a... I struggle with her so much.
I know.
She skirts around the truth so much, and she's just like, no, I wouldn't do that.
And she's irritated because she's like, of all the people on this trip, I'm the one that can't be trusted. Really? You've got like Aslan over there singing Shri Karai Karai.
I know.
Yeah. It's a weird situation. We know Reeth kind of had a crush on her on the Amaxine station. And now he's in this weird position of like, he's not trying anything, but he's afraid someone's gonna walk in and see them alone together and think it's scandalous. And I was like, is this Bridgerton?
I love it.
Ugh,
It's like he realized he's an adult. He's like, oh, I've just got to be proper.
right? Wreath, it's fine. Like
I
everything's
know.
fine. Ugh. He ends up hearing Aslan Rel calling for him and thankfully gets to leave the situation.
I know.
And Aslan asks him if he feels the pull in the force. And Wreath thinks he's referring to, the darkness
Mm-hmm.
that everyone knows about at this point. But he surprises Wreath and I think us. I was shocked by
I was
this.
shocked.
By saying it's not a pull to the darkness, he's feeling the pull to the light.
Wow.
What?
That's amazing.
This is a big deal.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of an earlier conversation that Wreath had that Aslan was stronger in the Force, and that's why he was so sensitive to the nameless effects. And I think Aslan really is super strong in the Force, especially the fact that, like, Aslan being so entrenched within the dark side can still feel the pull of the light, whatever this might be.
Yep. I love this.
Well, we get to chapter 25, and Aslan is explaining to Wreath how he's sensing a pull back towards the light, and Wreath is just like, what do you mean?
What do you want me to do with this information?
And then this is where Aslan, like, turns to Amadeo, and he's like, did you go on journeys as a youngling?
Oh my god. Except Amadeo didn't get to go to Kashyyyk, which would have been cool and fun, like it was for Aslan. He went to Jakku, which is
who goes to Jakku? It's the middle of
I know,
nowhere.
they're like, and here is where people are enslaved in the desert. What? Who decided to go to Jakku for the younglings?
I don't even know. Yeah, and Aslan just like, he's kind of haughty. He's like, and this is why the Jedi Order is falling apart.
Oh gosh. Yeah, he's almost manipulating Amadeo a little bit and trying to plant those seeds of doubt about the Jedi Order in there.
Yes. Yeah. Aslan is going crazy because it's pulled to light. I feel like the dark side is like rearing its head up, and he's trying to like get Amadeo into the dark side bubble that he's got going on, and telling Amadeo to follow your own path rather than always answering to a master. And just, this pisses everybody off.
Yeah, he tells Amadeo that he knows he's felt a destiny beyond the Jedi Order. Oh my god, the fact that he said that out loud in front of Wreath. And remember that time Wreath was concerned about someone walking in on him? And man, he should have been concerned about someone walking in on this situation instead. Comac does and is like, what is happening?
Absolutely not.
I mean, from his perspective, he's walking into this Darksider basically telling a child, have you thought about leaving the Jedi? It doesn't look great.
Especially on one of our first stories with Amadeo's was him leaving the Jedi to go hang out with a bunch of kids in Coruscant. And so for Aslan to pick up on that and then just kind of toy it in front of his face is just awful.
Yep.
I do love, though, that Comac is yelling at Aslan to stop corrupting young minds. Aslan turns and he goes, that I leave to the Jedi. So
Zing.
I know. Aslan, stop it.
This starts a fight between Wreath and Comac that obviously needs to happen because there's other stuff brewing.
Does it, though? I feel like Wreath is being really insecure and like, I'm leader of this expedition and don't you tell Aslan what to do. Obviously, someone needed to tell Aslan to stop, knock it out. So, God.
But I think it needed to happen because Wreath needed to see that was the truth of it, that he was being insecure. And Comac points out, like, this feeling is not about the situation. It's actually about unfinished business between us. And Wreath does admit, like, yeah, I'm more sensitive to how you treat me because even though I've forgiven you, it's still there. You can't forget that those things have happened. And I think he just feels extra sensitive about how Comac perceives him. So
that's fair.
He admits he should be better, though.
I did like that Comac tells Wreath that forgiveness is not a linear process.
Yep.
And to not rush it. That's not a big deal. Comac is very level-headed
when
it comes to Wreath.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be that patient to be like, oh my God, stop being so immature. I can't.
And he says small failures are not the destruction of progress. And I just love that. And sometimes those failures are actually what moves progress forward.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's always a good lesson, especially in the midst of all of this stuff.
Oh, totally. We move over to Dr. Gampa, who apparently has been studying astrophysics. Good for her.
What am I doing with my time?
I don't know.
Just watching the same movies over and over, and
You too
Dr.
could be
Campa is like,
studying.
what if I
Yeah.
picked up astrophysics?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
It does have relevance because
Yes.
apparently she's been studying the qualities of the star that the Drangir home planet used to be with. So she is theorizing that if she uses that information, she can draw the Drangir to where she wants. And we find out that's how she brought the Drangir to Kashyyyk and is working on a way to control the Drangir altogether. So that's
Oof.
lovely. So I guess
that's great.
home planet sunlight is the key to controlling Drangir.
Over on the vessel, Leox is very he can pick up on things really easily and is like, yeah, the Wookiees are definitely hiding something from us. And while Affy and Leox are talking about this, Geode is suspiciously quiet. So unlike him.
I know so much.
We go over to someone we haven't seen in a minute.
Oh my god. I loved this chapter so much.
So
Or this
good.
section. I know. Yeah, because it's Markion Ro, and he's lounging on a couch, kind of scrolling through different channels of holo recordings. What? It's so bad. The poor Jedi who are trying to hunt for him, apparently in the marshes. Markion is just tra-la-laing in his, I'm assuming the gaze electric, right? I don't think he'd be anywhere else. My gosh.
Imagine just watching videos of the people trying to find you flounder and being like, yeah, more grapes.
I know.
He does get a surprise when he checks on Kashyyyk, though. He thought the blight would have spread a lot further than it has, and he also happens to notice a certain squall spider pinging from there. And he knows it's Dr. Incampa. I mean, he is aware, but he's just like, why would she be on Kashyyyk? Especially if she had figured out the whole no cure for the blight situation, which he's pretty sure she has. So why would she be there? That would make no sense unless something else was going on.
Totally. So his plan is to use Gira to bring Dr. Mkampa back?
This seems odd. Gira's not a bounty hunter.
No. Why not go to the other one? My brain is so medicated with
the hottie.
Mary Ellen. Lady.
General Beast.
There we are. Yes.
Just had to go down that thread.
Mary Ellen was the only word
I was definitely not talking about Baron Bulin, okay?
No shame, though, or no judgment.
That's fine if that's your thing.
No, it is.
Hear me outs are fine. That's just not mine. It's fine. It's like number 3 on the list of his advisors. All right, chapter 26. We're with a spice runner, which, of course, in my head, I'm like, Poe Dameron, runner of spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, where are we going with this story? We're with the captain on his ship, and his specialty is death sticks, and he's headed to Parmath to sell them. And unfortunately, when he arrives, it's to see in the atmosphere that the Nihil are fighting with all the patrols from this planet.
Yikes.
So they're trying to take a big hauler that was arriving on planet. They're trying to steal from them. And Parmath is fighting back. And he's like, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah, he has this moment where he's like, do I help? Do I leave? And he's kind of wavering between the two, but then sees a bunch of independent ships burst in the scene, and they're starting to attack the Nile, and he then takes this as a sign and joins the battle and helps to shoot the Nile down.
Yeah, and afterward, they're like, you want to get a drink on Parmath?
I know. And talk about the Bind Guild.
Of course.
Yeah, we move over to Kashyyyk as Affy is learning about this interaction and how they want to invite this spice runner into the guild. And Affy is like, a spice runner? Death sticks? Like, what have we gotten ourselves into? Like,
When did we start inviting drug dealers?
Yes, exactly. I love Leox. It's just kind of like, well, we need all the help we can get fighting the Nile. You know, he's not wrong. But also, Leox has his share of different drugs. So
it's medicinal.
That's
Rachel.
right. That's right. Of course, Leox.
Affy is just concerned about what happens post Nihil with people like this.
Mhm.
And she's trying to build up this thing that'll be long lasting. And I think she's afraid that she can't trust people like this to stick with the guild once the Nihil are no longer around. You know, I get it, but at this point, you got to take all the help you can get.
It's fair. Where do we go to?
Sweet Aslan and Wreath.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Aslan and Wreath are talking about how both the light and the dark side of the Force are at work on Kashyyyk, and how Dr. Mkampa might be calling the Drengir. And Aslan could also apparently feel this pull that the Drengir feel, and is concerned that it will bring more Drengir to Kashyyyk. But luckily, hopefully, they don't all have an innovator or access to a ship
yeah, so
to
they
bring
can't
them
even
to
get
Kashyyyk. Yeah. They're just on some like faraway planet, be like, Kashyyyk.
Well, they hear Wookiee horns start sounding, which means they're being summoned. I think we can all figure out where this might be going. So everybody gathers together, and Pruzala stands up on this little stage to admit they have this major cultural secret that they want to share. And she takes off her headband, and there's this giant, it's called an opal of Merix, a gemstone of some kind. And apparently it's very rare and precious, and supposedly came from these extinct white worship trees that are extinct for sure. For
Totally
sure.
extinct.
Yeah, so the secret is that they're not dead. There's definitely a small grove of what they consider sacred living trees, and it represents the heart of their religion. And so in order to protect it, they had to keep it a secret for literal millennia.
Yeah.
And I totally get why. I mean,
I do too, especially if this gem is so valuable. People are going to, if they find out about this grove, they don't care about the Wookiees' religion. They're just going to go take the grove for themselves. And
yeah, they'll be like, they're just trees. Let's get the gems. I get it, but they're out of options because the spike in the blight is pointed directly towards the grove as if it's drawn to it. Who would have thought?
I know. Yeah, it gets even worse because not only that, the sacred grove is protecting the Wookiees from something, and if it becomes free, it's bad news. So it's like, uh-oh.
I was like, is this just another pit of Nameless? What are we going to get here? This is a rare occasion where we go into the next chapter, chapter 27, and they immediately tell us it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it's called the Well of Night, and it arrived thousands and thousands of years ago. And apparently it is located within the White Worsher Grove, and they basically have stayed to protect it. All the others have gone extinct intentionally, it sounds like, so they could allow other species of trees to flourish. But this one grove has stayed behind to protect all of Kashyyyk from this Well of Night. So
and
cool.
They don't really understand much about the well, other than that it's obviously powerfully dark. What is happening? Great, so another thing to worry about.
I know, but then also that one mystic did warn Wreath about something that's sleeping. So this has got to be the sleeping thing. And if the blight is headed towards the grove and then the sleeping thing, then bad things will happen. So I guess it is all in some way interconnected.
Yeah. And Wreath asks if they can go see this new thing that they've just been revealed. And so all the Wookiee Jedi, Burryaga and Kelnaka, are going to lead them there.
Perfect.
What a big deal.
I know. And everyone is invited except for Nan and Aslan.
Except for the two pariahs.
I know. I do love the creatures that they ride to the grove. They're so fun.
So fun, but apparently so terrifying to non-Wookiees.
I feel like I would have a great time, just saying.
I legit can see you having a wonderful time, and then you look over to me on mine, and I'm just violently vomiting. Oh, I'd have fun, but I would suffer.
No.
But regardless of how terrifying this may or may not have been for certain Jedi, it gets them to the grove way faster than they ever would have gotten.
It there. Is. Did we say what they were?
No.
Malaya? I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's Malaya.
Malaya?
Yeah.
Which we've seen them before in like Clone Wars. It's those ape-like, cat-like creatures that are really large and they've got almost elephant-like ears. Very, very cool.
Yeah. But even the Malaya are like, yeah, so we're going to keep our distance from this sacred place.
They're respectful.
They're super respectful, or they just don't like the vibes, which fair. And so they let them off, a small distance away from those. So they're going to have to hike to get to this grove. But they make it to, I love the picture they paint of this. It's a rapid, wide river. And in the middle of it is a small island where they can see this grove of white orchard trees.
It sounds so beautiful.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, apparently there's this bridge that connects to the island so that the Wookiees can commune with the trees for very rare religious ceremonies and apparently Life Day as well. So,
Yeah,
sounds wonderful.
it does. They make their way across the bridge and can feel the darkness as they
Ooh,
get closer. And so they get basically to the center of the grove, and Wreath can just see this. I imagine it looks kind of like the pit on Octo,
ooh, yes.
right? Like
Uh-huh.
that's what I was envisioning when I was reading all of this, is that it looks kind of like that,
Yeah,
which is super cool.
it's so cool. I also was reminded of Planet X
Yeah.
too. And for a moment, my brain kind of went down the creature route, like there's some big monster down in there.
A
But
nameless is gonna crawl out again. Like, we've
yeah.
totally seen this before.
Well, what did they call it there? It was the protector and then something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah. I can't remember what the other one was called.
uh-huh. But no, apparently it's a massive cavern of dark purple crystals.
Yep.
And then
Oh,
there's etchings on the crystals. And as Wreath gets closer, he realizes that he's looking at a Sith artifact called a thorn seed. Ugh. Wow. Love that.
wow, is right. So, chapter 28, we can finally admit Dr. Encampa is annoyed she hasn't found the thorn seed because that's
I
totally what she's looking for.
know. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, the Sith holocron was like, hey, I have something really cool to tell you about. It's called the thorn seed,
Uh-huh.
and here's what you can do with it. So, that's how she got on this whole journey.
This next scene where Dr. Campa is calming Gira and it takes her a
Wild.
couple times and Gira finally answered. Her hair is like disheveled and Dr. Campa's like, "Oh, did I wake you?" But also more importantly, is Markion Row nearby because that would be weird and
And
awkward.
Yuri doesn't answer, but she definitely has to walk away from where she's at. Girl, we know where you're at.
But Dr. Campa makes a weird comment about how Gira isn't sleeping with Markion Row anymore because like they've kind of like fallen apart. But I don't get that impression from Gira's interactions. It's very bizarre.
I think she's like poking fun at the fact that everyone knows they're still sleeping together, even though Gira is so obviously anti-Markion right
Oh,
now.
okay, okay, that makes sense.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? She's just
Yeah.
picking at her to be like, yeah, you're definitely not sleeping with him anymore. That would be insane. Dr. M. Camp has lost her absolute mind because she's like, hey, Gira, I'm going to get right to it. I need you to steal millions of credits from Markion Row's bank account for me. Sorry?
What?
Yeah, and if she doesn't, she's going to kill Avon. So do with
Man.
that what you will.
Yeah. Apparently, Dr. Mkampa only gives Gira 20 hours and ends the comms. Good luck,
For
Gira.
5 million credits?
Yes. And all of this because Dr. Mkampa was pissed off that she couldn't find the thorn seed. She was literally like, I need something to distract me, so this'll work.
I love this next bit because down in the well, Leox plays the role of reader and is like, hey, can someone explain what a thorn seed is?
Yeah.
Thank you, Leox. Thanks so much for that.
Did appreciate that so much.
Yeah, this is why we get a summary of what it is, which is great.
So, what is it?
It's an ancient Sith artifact that can turn plant life to the dark side. What? And at first I was like, why would you ever have a purpose for that? But you could embed it in a planet and all the plants would become poisonous or venomous. And then the Sith would be able to harvest those deadly toxins and use them. And they used it to lure opponents to battles on the planet. And then they would all just get overwhelmed by the presence of the dark side of the Force, and the Sith would win. Wow.
Crazy. There was also a
Yeah.
moment too where I thought that the Sith created the Drangir using the
Yeah.
thorn seed,
I definitely had a minute of that too.
but I don't remember. Oh, it's later. We find out that's definitely not a thing, but
Yeah. But it sounds
Interesting.
like it.
it does. Yeah. I love how Reith is nerding out for a moment. He's like, this
my
is
God.
why that's better to hang out in the archives and not as great to do gymnastics and blah, blah, blah.
Nerd.
We're like, okay, calm down, Reith.
All right, Reed. Comac points out that the drawings carved into the stones look really familiar. They're the drawings of idols that had been at the Amaxine station. It's
That
the
is
idols that
so
were keeping the
weird.
Dringier contained. Interesting.
Yeah. We never
this
go
next-
into why, which
No,
bugs me.
they leave that.
They
Just
totally
leave it
leave
there.
that.
And then we go to something real stupid. I was mad this entire time.
Oh,
Avon
I
wants
was
to take
too.
a small sample. I
Why?
was so stressed. Why? Thank you. Why? And it's like, as long as we don't threaten the structural integrity of the thorn seed, we'll be fine. You're talking about chipping a sample of it away. What do you mean?
And the fact that you're going to like take it away, like, wouldn't that darkness follow you wherever you go?
Yes,
Like, this
especially
sounds
because
awful.
I think Reed, there's someone who's like, oh yeah, if you mess with the thorn seed too much, an overwhelming darkness will be unleashed upon you.
And they're all like, okay, Avon, go ahead. Take your
Yeah, and then
little
she just takes
hammer
a
and
chisel. So you're all gonna die. Got it.
Uh-huh.
Well, and when she like gets a sliver of it, the thorn seed glows bright for a moment, which creeps everyone out.
Especially the eyes of the idols that are carved.
Nope.
there. And they're like, that's strange. Oh well, we'll still keep this little sliver and go on our merry on way.
Yeah, well, that's weird. And then just everyone is too casual on Kashyyyk. That's
They really are.
all I'm saying.
I also thought that the blight had somehow traveled directly to this area, and I expected to see blight somewhere nearby, but no blight.
Speaking of, you know how I was just talking crap like a couple minutes ago about Gira? Chapter 29.
I know.
Gira, girl, all this talk. Because in this scene, Markion's deep asleep in the same room as her. I'm sure you can gather what they were doing. Gira, get it together. And so she's like, this is a great time to get to the secure data area in the Gaze Electric so she can steal his bank account info.
This whole series was so stressful because Gira's rushing through the hallways and she's almost running but trying to keep herself from full on running because that would be too suspicious. And she gets to the data room and she's like copying all the codes onto this little data card. And she gets it and rushes out of the room and she basically stumbles right into Thaya.
Who is who?
Who is Markion Ro's new advisor, attendant, helper? I don't know.
Something. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, whoops.
Big whoops.
Yeah, she has to improvise right now, and I don't know that that's really her strong suit.
I mean, she has lived a long life of politics. I would imagine that she's kind
It's
of
true.
good.
She
But I
just
feel like Thaya is very smart and shrewd and was like, why are you up? And Thaya basically asks, why are you up?
just right to the point.
She really is. And Gira's like, oh, insomnia. I like to walk when I can't sleep. So yeah, it kind of works. And Thaya's like, oh yeah, I understand. And Gira continues on her way and then has a panic attack about Thaya telling Markion Ro she was out and about in the middle of the night and has this moment of even considering that she's going to abandon her daughter.
Yep.
Oof.
You can do what is the right thing, which is saving her daughter, and she does eventually decide that that's the correct route to go, even if she's gonna get killed for it. It took her a little too long to get here.
I agree. Why are you even contemplating this? This is awful.
Mother of the Year, right here.
Yeah.
I love Mcampa gets the transfer.
I loved it so much.
I know. If I got transferred 5 million credits, I'd be like, oh, this is the greatest day of my life.
Yeah.
And instead she's like, interesting. Oh, but my scans are picking up something.
Because all she thinks about is this thorn seed, and she literally only threatened Gira because it was something to do because she was pissed that she couldn't find the thorn seed. And now that she has found the thorn seed, she could care less about the 5 million credits because with the thorn seed, she could access so much more.
And this is why you shouldn't have chopped a little sliver out of the thorn seed, because I bet right when it glowed, that's when she got this signature, Avon.
I agree. So dumb.
Now, She just needs to find a way to distract the Jedi and the Wookiees, and I wonder how she could possibly do that.
It's not like she knows how to tell the Drengir to go from one place to another.
Crazy. I wonder what'll happen.
Oh, goodness. We move over to Avon, who can't sleep because she's having nightmares about
Fair. Yeah.
what was her nightmares about? Was it the thorn seed?
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
a thorn seed.
Okay, yeah. And then wakes up. She's like, oh my God, the thorn seed. So she gives up on sleeping and decides to study this crystal that she has sacrificed everybody's lives for, which is great because she finds out that the crystal is made from Drengir sap.
See, this is the kind of stuff you're supposed to find out when you have insomnia, not go walking around suspiciously. But yeah, this means something interesting, which is that the Sith used the Drengir to create the thorn seed somehow. Which makes sense given what the thorn seed does.
Yeah,
Interesting.
definitely.
I mean, this connects the dots, right, for them about what Dr. Mkampa is doing.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So they theorize that Dr. Mkampa must know about the thorn seeds and that Nan must have also known. So this pisses
Color
Reath
me
off.
shocked.
I know. This is a surprise Pikachu face. Yeah, Reath is so mad and he confronts Nan about all of this and for working for Marchion Ro still, and I don't know. Again, I'm annoyed by Nan and how she handles any sort of, I don't know, accusation.
It is tough to watch though, because Reath does not give up on people. And there is a moment here where he obviously kind of gives up on her.
He does.
And that hurts her more than she will ever admit, because she knows this about Reath too. And so the fact that she can see that happening means she is just such a disappointment to him, which of course nobody wants to feel that way. Aslan's delighted though. I think he's like, yes, Reath's in a bad mood. You know what that means? It's riddle time.
Oh my God, I know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, obviously Aslan has some idea about the thorn seed, right?
Yes, of course. Aslan's probably also known about the thorn seed the entire time and how it's the one that's calling to him this whole time. Reath is so over Aslan as well. He's over both of these two characters. I do like, though, that Reath tells Aslan that he isn't bound to the thorn seed, just like he isn't bound to the Drengir or the Nameless, and that Aslan is actually lost. And the reason why he keeps taunting everyone to join the dark side is because he's lonely and he wants others to join this with him.
Imagine getting called out so horrendously. Because you are a lonely loser, actually.
Yes. And the only way Aslan will stop being alone is if he has the courage to step into the light.
Just having a revelation.
He truly is. Also probably isn't at the same time. He's probably just singing the lullaby in his mind the whole time.
Let's get rid of the light, please.
So actually, that was a point. He wants to sing the lullaby, but he can't because the trees called to him. Aslan?
We'll see what happens in that.
I do like this push and pull between Aslan, the light and the dark, and Aslan. It's very unexpected.
We love a pull between the light and dark.
We do. I didn't expect it in Aslan. I expected Aslan just to be like a big grump the entire time. And I was like, you know, that's
kind of
okay.
why it's fun, is because this character's been so steeped in darkness that none of us besides Reath thought there would ever be any hint of light again. And of course, Reath was right.
I know.
So, a pleasant surprise.
This next scene where Nan is pouting.
Her feelings are hurt.
I don't know what she was expecting, but okay. She's pouting and she's like staring at the trees. It takes her a moment to realize that the trees aren't moving with the wind. They're actually moving because she's staring at a Drengir.
Horrifying.
I love it.
Well, chapter 30. We start it with Nan screaming. Love to hear it.
As the Drengir attack the village.
Yep, they're popping up everywhere. Ugh, Reath. I give Gira a hard time, so I feel like I gotta give Reath a hard time.
Oh, 100%. We do.
Run straight for Nan's voice.
Well, because Nan is being so brave, and she's basically bashing a Drengir with a 2x4.
It's definitely because she's not a Jedi, not because of anything else.
Oh, 100%. She needs his help, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
This part made me laugh. I'm gonna be so for real, because he manages to send it tumbling over the walkway and save Nan and everything's fine. But he hears Aslan laugh, and I love this image of just him turning around and Aslan's just like a ball of electricity being like, and he just starts punching Drinkier to kill them again.
Oh, it's so good. And he's levitating too, right? So he's like
Yes.
hovering midair with electricity all around him.
Oh.
It's crazy.
Reef does a George of the Jungle here, which is not important to the plot, but I
It's
just
Luke
felt like it
and
had to be
Leia.
mentioned.
But also George of the Jungle.
Wow, the much more appropriate reference.
Sorry.
No, that's great. Claudia's gonna be like, what is wrong with you? I've been thinking about Brendan Fraser a lot lately, okay?
That's fair.
Yes, totally a reference to Star Wars. Crazy. Who would have thought? Anyway, on that note, the Dringir start to retreat. And the Dringir are all like, why did we just do that?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're kind of mad. And yeah.
But also they still feel that pull to attack the villagers again. So
yes.
It's very strange.
It is. But this kind of gives Reith the realization Mcampa must have found the Thorn Seed and demanded them to attack as a distraction.
Totally. So Reith has to organize the group to head back to the Thorn Seed to protect it from Dr. Mcampa. Oh, and luckily Affy and Leox were smart to go grab the vessel, and the vessel is right above them. And oh, there's a Drangir, and the vessel shoots the Drangir. Everything's fine.
Everything's great. Nan.
Mm-hmm.
She is desperate to get on the vessel because she really wants to get to the Sacred Grove and do her thing with Mcampa.
Mm-hmm.
And no one's realized her bracelet is damaged, so she can just slide it off and no one noticed.
Okay, I have a problem with this. Was there no warning signal that says, error, Sentry bracelet is broken? I feel like that should be written within the code. Like, tampered with? Come on. What happened
this
here?
This is amateur hour.
It really is. Whatever. Nan just wraps her wrist with leather. It's like, oh, look, it's exactly the same thing.
I have a problem with this, too.
Leather and a big clunky metal bracelet do not look the same.
Why would no one notice that she covered up the bracelet?
Yes. Well, everyone one noticed she was even there. She was hiding behind a Wookiee and no one could see her because she's just a tiny person.
Yeah, she gets onto the vessel in a surprise to not me because she manages to get everywhere.
Yeah, because Burryaga just blindly tosses her into the vessel.
See, if they would all just communicate, they'd know that she's not wanted on this mission.
I don't even know.
I know. Going into chapter 31, Aslan also got onto the vessel.
I love this so much.
He's not trying to hide, though, and nobody tries to actually stop him.
Well, for a moment, he thinks he snuck aboard, and then he realizes, wait a minute, I'm this creepy guy. I can't hide from anyone. Yeah, Aslan is very excited. He wants to go because he's excited about killing more Drangir, but mostly he wants to see what happens when he gets close to the Thorn Seed and the White Warsher Grove. And for the first time, he's curious which will win, the light or the dark. Wow.
Very interesting. Dr. Mcampa is walking her gross spider ship through the forest so that nobody will see her. And she makes it to the river and sees the island on her scanners coming up. And she's like, great, I'm going to beat the Jedi to it, which is not awesome.
No, especially because we switched POVs to the vessel who also reached the island. And there's no sign of the Squall Spider. So what is happening here?
I don't like that.
I don't either. I guess they all disembark and Avon picks up on numerous tiny devices nearby. And they're like, Dr. Mcampa must have put them here. And so they all start looking around for these tiny devices and they find one and they're like, wait a minute, this is a light intensifier.
Oh.
I was so stressed in this moment.
Yeah. And also I want to know how these are powered because apparently they can be the brightness of a freaking sun.
I don't know.
I know. The Force or
Star
something.
Wars science.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reith is like, I wonder if these are similar to the sun from the Dringir's homeworld because they're a different color.
Mm.
And he's like, wow, Nan, you know about this too? He's so over her. He's like, so what was the point in any of this for you? Like, I want to understand.
Totally.
And this is when we get the admission of what she was supposed to do, finally. Because Marchion had given her an assignment, and we didn't actually know what that was.
For a while, I didn't think this was a true confession. I thought this was just another lie. and that we were
I
gonna
mean, that's
get
fair. She
another
lies all the
confession.
time.
Oh yeah. I don't even think I wrote it down, so I was like, I'm over you.
That's completely fair. She was supposed to lead the Jedi into an ambush and on a completely different system. She wasn't even supposed to be on Kashyyyk, but she came here instead to get to Dr. Nkempa. And Reeth wants to know why.
Mm-hmm.
But before he can even ask, here she is, Dr. Nkempa with her stupid squall spider, calling out to them on her speakers. And it just goes a little crazy from here because Reeth tries to damage the ship's spider legs and she just switches to hovering.
Yeah.
And then she turns on this violet-colored scanner and points it at the island.
Like beam of light going straight towards the thorn seed.
Yeah, I
That
wonder
can't
what
be
that could
good.
possibly do.
Mm-hmm. It won't wake it up. No.
What? And then she turns on all those light intensifiers that she planted around, and Reeth already knows what's about to happen. And sure enough, this calls the Dringir running towards them in a frenzy.
Yeah, 32 is just a continuation of that scene. It is
Mhm.
pure chaos. There are so many Drangir. The Jedi are barely able to hold them back. I guess Affy and the others rush into the vessel for safety, but a Drangir tries to climb on and get to them. And Buryaga knocks one of the Drangir off, only for more Drangir to come in after that one. It's awful.
Yeah. And Nan finally goes for it and does what she's been wanting to do.
Mm-hmm.
She manages to get a hold of a lightsaber because Des Ryden got slashed on his leg and dropped it.
Uh-huh.
And before he can do anything, she runs off with it towards the vessel. And they're like, what is she possibly doing?
I wanted to know what she was doing. Mm-hmm.
No, she climbs on top of it as all these memories of her and Dr. Nkempa come to the surface of her mind.
Yes.
And we get an interesting perspective of Nan not really wanting what happened on a Maxine station to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that it more was about Dr. Nkempa manipulating things and her not being in the know about it. And Nan hadn't meant to do any of the things that happened.
I honestly forgot that Dr. Nkempa manipulated Nan's cloud to be hit by the hyperspace disaster so that a few ships would go to the Maxine station and on the off chance that Drangir might be alive. So it was all a setup. And I think the original Nile did have a somewhat like, especially like Nan, as we know, like a bond towards each other. And the fact that like Dr. Nkempa killed the entire cloud just for an experiment. And not only that, killed, I cannot pronounce her friend's
Haig
killed Haig, who helped raise her when her parents died. And so now I'm like, Nan, I understand why you are doing what you're doing. That is right.
Yeah. She brings out this magnetic tether once she's on top of the vessel and waits for the squall spider to hover above her closer. And she uses the magnet to attach and jump towards the ship.
Yeah.
And she manages to attach to it and climb into a hole from where Reeth was chopping at it earlier. And this is when she whips out the saber and we understand what she's about to do, which is slash every wire and control she can see.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. She feels them losing altitude. She hears Dr. Nkempa screaming. She feels something in the ship explode. And Nan just gets knocked out at one point and falls out of the ship towards the river. She's just maybe killed herself in this pursuit of making sure Dr. Nkempa suffers. That's how serious she was about this.
That was intense.
It was. Oh, sweet baby Reeth.
I know.
It's fine.
Of course,
he sees her
fall. I know.
And what does he do?
He makes sure she gently goes to the shore because she falls into the water, and he uses the force to like make sure she doesn't drown in the water and is safe on the shore.
Oh, angel.
I know. But then more Drangir enter the clearing. So the group has to run to the safety of the White Warsher Grove.
That takes us into chapter 33. Avon is like, wow, we are for sure losing. And she runs for the island, and they're all on the island and noticing that the Drangir are hesitant to cross the bridge after them, which is interesting. And she wonders if Dr. Nkempa survived the squall spider coming down or not. And she really, I think, mostly wants to get into her lab and
Mhm.
see if she's got any cool information for her. But this was interesting. It's the Jedi are wondering if the Drengir are afraid of the water.
Oh, yeah.
But they're actually not, right?
Well, as we know from our Seeds of Starlight audio book, right? The Drengir love
Haunted
water.
Starlight.
Haunted Starlight. They love water. They swim very well in water.
Yes. Creepily fast.
I know. So that is not the case. The Drengir actually are not a fan of the light of the Worcester trees.
Yep. But the darkness from the well is becoming stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And soon they don't think the light is going to be able to hold back the Drengir anymore, and they're going to be able to cross that bridge.
Yep.
Keith. How many times am I going to say it this recording? He does a little bridal scoop, as we like to call it.
Does.
Goes and gets named.
Mm-hmm.
Cute.
They have a cute conversation.
Kill me.
She calls him Mr. Silas and Knight and all the things.
He must have been so flustered.
I know. I love this next scene, though, where Kelnaka comes and is like, oh, don't worry about it, Reath. I've got this, and grabs her by the scruff of the neck as they carry baby Wookiees, apparently, and plops her on his shoulder and is like, I've got this. No.
Meanwhile, Aslan feels the best he's felt in years.
What is happening?
Aslan's having a resurrection right now.
He is.
He's satisfied to be walking towards something, metaphorically and physically.
Yes.
For the first time in a long time.
Poor guy.
Poor well.
Yeah, the well is not doing great at all. It's
No.
glowing a purple light and it's throbbing like it has a heartbeat. I hate that. And I especially hate that Reath, Des, and Buryaga all jump in like no big deal.
Again, everyone's too casual.
I feel like you could destroy the thorn seed without having to jump within it.
From the outside.
Yes.
Yes.
And they're like, let's strategize how to destroy it. But of course, that's when the thing emits this massive burst of purple light. And the Drengir are like, that's our signal. And rush the island.
Oh, this part, I was so stressed. Because we go into chapter 34.
Mm-hmm.
And Reath, Buryaga, and Des drive their sabers into the thorn seed. Remember the conversation we had earlier? You better hope that you are actually destroying this thing.
Totally.
Or else.
Yeah, that doesn't work. And it seems like that attack only gave the thorn seed more power. Which, that sucks.
That's why we don't drive our sabers into things that we don't know about.
I know! Can't kill everything with a lightsaber, guys. Jeez. Yeah, the Drengir are suddenly upon them and they're all fighting. It's pretty bad. It sounds like there's at least 100 Drengir here. And I feel like the Drengir have evolved because now they're throwing poisonous thorns.
Yes.
I don't remember them being able to do that before, but apparently they can now.
Maybe they're just so hyped up.
Yeah. At one point, Affy and Avon are hiding behind Geode, who can withstand the poisonous thorns.
Yeah, they're all not feeling great. Reath is like, I just got everyone killed here. So death is coming.
Yeah.
Affy and Leox are in a tree eventually, watching and feeling helpless and seeing that the Jedi are losing. And then the weirdest possible thing that you could never in a million years have guessed.
I didn't guess
what's going to happen. Happens. What on earth happens right now, Rachel?
Geode rolls towards the thorn seed so that he's sitting right in front of it. And then he begins to glow red. He gets hotter and hotter. And it almost looks like there's like molten volcano under him until eventually he explodes. It sends like crystal shrapnel everywhere that completely wipes out the thorn seed. What? What just happened?
I got to the end of reading that section was just like, I need a minute.
Yeah,
I need a minute. Yeah, because we had to read about Affy running for him.
I know.
Because she knew what he was going to do.
No.
We had to hear about pebbles of geode being scattered all over the place.
I know.
Claudia.
This was so awful.
I'm
so
shocked
horrific.
that I never heard this spoiler.
I got this one.
No, I'm sorry. Who did it? I want names.
No. What happened was someone said, I was talking about Geode and how much I loved him. I did a story and they go, Have you read Into the Light yet? And I was just like, that was a spoiler. It's all I needed. And I knew exactly what was going to happen. I
Oh,
was like, "Come, just don't say anything. Don't say anything."
just don't say anything.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you
Thank you.
not spoiling that for me.
You're welcome.
That was a shocker.
I know. I was still like, no, why?
I didn't think that was gonna work either. I was like, well, the Thorn Seed's just gonna come rearing back, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Jedi feel the influence of it diminish.
What
So
was
it
that
worked.
explosion?
You just had to explode it real hard.
I almost feel like it was some weird Vintian specialty.
Geode's so full of light that he just exploded light into the well.
Or like some weird like crystal energy, like
Oh yeah.
frequency. I don't know.
You know how those rocks vibe
Rocks
together.
to rock sort of situation.
We're laughing because it's painful and we need to make fun of it, okay?
I know, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, this is the worst. Yeah. And
yeah.
also the Drinker keep attacking.
Mm.
So they still have the same situation just without the Thorn Seed.
And there's still 100 Drinkir there.
Yeah, so they're still in a very bad situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this next scene where Buryaga jumps into the well and it's gone, right? So I was like, what's happening? But then Kelnaka joins him and they both start to meditate, to commune with the white Worsher trees. And these trees start to glow with a white light. And because the Thorn Seed is now gone, the trees are free to use their power in a new way. And that is to glow so brightly. And there's like this iridescent sheen to the light. It was stunned by this next scene.
Also would have never guessed what was going to happen. Yeah, the Dringir are brought into communion with the Worsher trees. And the light of the trees makes its way into the Dringir's minds and tells them of a different way to live, a way that could include joy. And the great progenitor sinks her tendrils into the grounds like roots, and all the other Dringir follow suit.
Wow.
And
Same.
they reach upwards with their leaves towards the sun.
Oh my
And
gosh.
all their thorns blossom into flowers. And the Dringir are now creatures of the light?
I was stunned. I did not
Same.
expect this at all.
Not on my bingo card. Oh, this is so wholesome.
It really is.
Yeah, we go to chapter 35 and everyone's like, WTF.
Completely valid.
Yeah. I guess though, Buryaga explains no one who communes with the trees remains unchanged. Even something on the dark side of the Force, even the Dringir.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the joy lasts like 2 seconds though. Because then they have to face the fact that Geode just exploded himself.
And they're searching the rubble to try and find this fragment of Geode that they hope that he can remineralize from, which apparently is a thing. And they do find it, but unfortunately they find what's called a Heartstone, but it's just way too small for him to regenerate. So they come to the conclusion that Geode is truly gone.
Ooh, yeah. It's a bummer.
It is such a bummer. I love Geode. He is one of my favorite characters.
Same. And then they have to go and hold this Ventian service.
Mm-hmm.
They have a very specific way of doing funerals, essentially, and they want to honor that.
Yeah.
And so they gather up as much geode dust as they could find, trying to hold it together. And Leox and Affy decide to turn his Heartstone into a necklace that they can share between the two of them so that they can always keep him close to their hearts.
Oh my god, I can't.
Ooh, yeah. I like that Avon was like, that's sad. Anyway, and goes to find Dr. Mcampa's lab to see if there's anything she can use.
They also do want to find Dr. Mcampa, so it's not just for
Of course.
the research.
Affy's like wailing on the ground,
I
and
know.
everyone's like, I'll be back.
There.
As she
Her
walks
and
away.
Comac take the vessel over to the the Squall Spider. Oh my goodness. Luckily, though, they find Dr. Mcampa right away.
She's still alive.
She is. And she still thinks that the Drangir are alive and that she has the ability to control them. And Comac is just like, yeah, well, actually, they're not available anymore. And that thorn seed you were obsessing about is destroyed. And
Oh, also your holocron, too.
oh my god, that's right.
Everything is destroyed.
Yes.
Like, she has nothing left.
Nothing. I did love that Avon found the holocron, but she's like, I found this weird pyramid shaped thing.
And then it just crumbles into
Crumbles to dust. Wonder what that was.
Ugh, but so satisfying that she gets to tell Dr. Mcampa that she's under arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
finally.
good. Especially because didn't Avon try to kill Dr. Mcampa? Am I
Yes.
remembering that correctly? Yeah, she held
Yep.
a blaster to her and
Yes,
realized
she did.
couldn't
They had
shoot.
a little
Yes,
confrontation.
they did.
Yep.
Look at Avon go. People are talking with Nan, who's my least favorite character. So I'll let you take care of this one.
Oh man, yeah. At first, it's Affy who is being real nice
She is
to
being
Nan
very nice.
and was like, you could have just told us that you hated Dr. Mcampa from the start, and we would have been like, let's kill her.
Yeah.
It's fine. At least the non-Jedi would have. But Nan tells her that what she learned from the Nihil is that no one cares about your feelings and vulnerabilities get you killed. So it obviously, like, we do feel bad for this life that Nan had to live and what it turned her into, even though she's still annoying. And after Affy leaves, Wreath
So make sure Nan is okay.
gotta come sit beside her. She does explain to him everything that happened on a Maxine and what we talked about earlier about it kind of being the machinations of Dr. Mcampa more so than Nan wanting to do any of that stuff. And that the reason she's disgusted by the Nihil now is because she realized it's all just a Marchion Ro vanity project. Which is true.
Yep.
So-
And she's only stayed with the Nile as long as she has is because of her love for Haig, her prior guardian, whomever. Nanny. Yeah.
Nihil nanny.
Nile nanny. But now that she's gotten her revenge on Dr. Mcampa, her war is over and she can stop hanging out with the Nile.
Yep. And in true Jedi fashion, instead of being like, I love you,
I know.
let's make out, Wreath was like, I wish you peace. Best wishes, warmest regards.
Bye.
Wreath, you're never gonna kiss a girl at this rate.
I know, it's so true.
Oh, speaking of having a moment, Aslan is like, what do I do with my...
I totally wrote the same as I was like, Aslan is having an identity crisis.
Oh, but then it quickly snaps back into place when he finds a shard of crystal nearby him. And it's definitely a piece of the thorn seed.
Yeah.
And this newly revitalized Aslan should just not. And instead, he puts it in his pocket. So, Aslan.
Apparently, he did not communicate with the Worsher trees, the white Worsher trees.
Yep.
That is such a mouthful.
Worsher.
Worsher.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, off that really positive thing that I'm sure nothing bad is going to come from, we go over to the Geode funeral. So, this is sad.
It's
I hate it. Yeah, it's terrible.
They gather together at sunset, and apparently a Vintian funeral procession is, or rather what their idea of heaven is the shoreline. So they gather at the shoreline of the river, and both Leox and Wreath say some beautiful words about Geode. Affy can't say anything because she's sobbing, and I was like, now I'm sobbing. And everyone says their goodbyes.
Yeah. I'm holding it together now, but just know when I was reading this, I was a hot mess express.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We love you, Geode. It's not a rock. Again, we gotta laugh through the pain because it's so rough to say goodbye to characters you love. Geode was just such a fun presence.
Yes.
Throughout all of the High Republic.
He truly was. And the way he was written was just like his silence. Countenance is all you needed to know about his feelings about this.
Yep. He just had an aura that people either did or did not understand. So, and we understood it.
I did like there was one moment where Aslan could pick up the tiny whirring of the mechanics. I guess Geode was rides on some sort of robotic wheels of some sort. And I was like, that's an interesting. I've always wondered how he moves around.
Geode.
I know.
Well, back on the vessel, Wreath is like, hey, maybe I should focus on the original mission now and focus on the Blight.
I know. It's like, no, what's happening with the Blight?
Well, yeah, because when he lands back in the village, he sees Wookiees and Master Belka waiting for him, and he's like, this can't possibly be good, because none of the news you ever get in the High Republic is good. What happened?
Or rather, it is good news. They tell Wreath and the others that the Blight is gone.
Wow.
what? And they
Yeah,
come
I
to
thought it was going to be bad news. And then they're like, P.S.
it's gone. I was so shocked by this. And they go
Same.
on to explain that the power of the white worship trees were able to eradicate the blight, which is crazy. So
Evil.
there isn't a cure to the blight in scientific means, but when it comes to the force, if you have
Yes.
enough force, you can get rid of it. But
But on the downside, right? They can't replicate this
mhm.
elsewhere. They're not going to take their trees.
No, totally. But I was really struggling with Geode's sacrifice, and I was like, why did he have to die? But when I read this, I was like, okay, well, Geode didn't just die to kill the Thorn Seed. He also sacrificed himself to save all of Kashyyyk, and
Yeah. He's the reason the Dringir turned to the light.
yeah,
He's the
totally.
reason the blight disappeared. He saved an entire planet of people.
It's amazing.
It makes it hurt slightly less. But I think even though they know they can't replicate this, I hope it at least gives the Jedi a little bit of hope
hmm
that things like these worship trees, really powerful objects in the Force, are out there
Totally.
and could help them.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Now it's time to party.
Yeah.
I was like, Godspeed, Wookiees party hard.
I know. I can't wait. Yeah. Chapter 36, they throw the biggest party to celebrate. Everyone is dancing, and Kelnaka is playing the drums, and they're all drinking mead and having this great, wonderful time. Except for one character.
I wonder who it could be being a weirdo.
I know.
By
Sitting
himself.
in a room by himself. None other than Aslan Rel, who's all alone. And of course, he begins to think about the Nameless again.
He's so close, Rachel. He's so close to being back in the light again, and he knows this. And that all he has to do is let go of the fear and hate.
It's so frustrating. I didn't even
It
realize
is.
how frustrated I'd be with him with this because I didn't even think it was possible to begin with. So here we are. I'm frustrated.
It's like
with
they
him.
gave us this view of this amazing end for Aslan where he goes back to light and then immediately snatched away.
Exactly.
You guys are so mean.
So mean.
He just can't let go of that fear that he feels with the Nameless. And as long as he holds on to that, he's going to be in the dark.
Yeah.
That just is what it is.
It's a bummer.
You know what else is a bummer, Rachel?
What?
Hangover. And I feel like the next morning everyone is nursing a hangover because Wookiees party too hard. But Reef checks on Leox and Affy and finds them at the vessel working on the ship, and he's a little surprised to find that Nan is there.
I was so surprised that Nan was there.
Same. And her and Affy are chatting like not friends, but not antagonistic.
Yeah.
And maybe they need some help navigating just for this voyage, maybe, because their navigator, unfortunately, has passed. And they can't replace Geode, but they just need help for a few weeks until they figure something else out.
And Nan offers to help with navigation because that is what she used to do when she worked with Haig. I can't pronounce his name.
Interesting turn of events for Nan.
I agree. I'm proud of her, though. Even though she's not my favorite character, I like this turn of events for her. It's great.
Speaking of great, Reef runs into Amadeo, who is pondering, am I allowed to feel any joy when the rest of the galaxy is in turmoil, right?
Oh my gosh, Amadeo.
I know. And Amadeo actually came to the conclusion himself without even needing Reef, right, to tell him what it was, which is that it's okay to celebrate joy in this moment. It doesn't mean you're automatically ignoring other troubles. You're just giving each thing its own due.
Totally.
And this moment needs celebration, and then you can move to the next moment that doesn't need celebration, that needs something else. And Reef is like, he is becoming the knight I can see. Reef can see that future for him where he's an amazing Jedi Knight, and it makes me very happy.
Me too. Yeah, we move over to Avon, who's arguing with her professor Hastemon Cross. Apparently, they're arguing about the blight and how it's been eradicated from Kashyyyk. The professor is determined to figure out the methods and how it was possible so that he can then replicate it elsewhere. But Avon's trying to explain that this can't be replicated. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And also, by the way, blight can't be cured. The professor is like, nonsense, let experts handle this, and don't worry, this won't affect your grades, but it may affect your, what does he threaten her with? any sort of a apprenticeship that she wants in
Oh,
the
yeah.
future. You're like, okay.
Say goodbye to that internship.
Exactly.
Oh, and it's so cute. We go back with Nan, who is a little rusty at navigation,
Mm-hmm.
but Leox and Affy, who don't need to do this at all, show a lot of patience with her and
Mm-hmm.
trying to refresh her memory of it and are very nice to. It's just a lovely moment
It
of these
really
two
is.
people who are grieving,
Mm.
who don't need to show Nan any sort of patience or anything at all, doing that for her. And I just think that's nice.
Yeah. This niceness actually inspires Nan to do a nice thing to someone else. And that means she calms Kira. And it takes
was
a few
pretty
times.
shocked.
Yes, I was too. But Kira finally answers and is like, why the heck are you calming me? And Nan tells Kira that she has left the Nile and joined up with the Republic. Also, Nan knows that Kira wants to get out of the Nile. And if that's the case, she should tell the Republic intel on the Nile in exchange for a more cushiony sentence.
And what a reaction, right?
I know. Kira is pissed.
I mean, but
Rightfully
is Nan
so.
wrong?
No, but if Nan
Mm.
can pick up on this, everybody else. Has anyone ever told Kira that they know she wants out? Right?
Not that I can
I don't think
remember.
so.
Yeah, she just like cuts off the call, which means she definitely hit a nerve there.
Mm-hmm. Whoops.
Yeah, we'll see if that comes back around. Elsewhere, Comac walks in meditation, which I like. I don't feel like we hear of Jedi walking and meditating a lot. It's always sitting in your little position or whatever until Reath approaches him. And this time that he spent with the meditation group on Kashyyyk and with everything that's happened has kind of formed a decision in his mind. And he tells Reath he's ready to rejoin the Jedi Order.
I love it.
Ugh. And they make jokes about it and have a nice conversation.
It's so cute.
And it kind of lets Comac know that any of those lingering bad feelings have healed for good on Reath's side. So I love that.
Me too. I love this next part though. We move over to Marchion Ro, who is stunned that the blight has been eradicated from Kashyyyk. He's yelling at Thaya Fair that they must have not seeded the planet properly and it was a mistake and Luke and all the things. And he basically yells at her to get out.
It's just kind of, I love Marchion, obviously. It's just kind of fun to see for the first time, I think, since we've known Marchion, he's having doubts about how this is going to go. So.
Yep. Do you think so we see that he has a sliver of a doubt, but what is that doubt in regards to? Is he doubting that there is a cure or that people can stop it and that it won't be him or that he won't be successful?
I think it's more about that. I think he is upset because if there's a cure out there and he doesn't know what it is, that's his thing that he's lording over everybody else. And if people find out that there's a cure that has nothing to do with Marchion, he completely loses that power. Yeah.
I love it. And I love the line, for the first time in a really long time, Marchion Ro is having a bad day.
Love. Such a good line.
So good.
Oh, and we end this lovely book on their last night in Kashyyyk. Reath had taken Avon up into the trees to meet the crew of the vessel so they could eat and drink, and now they need to celebrate what that means, and they just had this lovely time together, just celebrating everything that happened on Kashyyyk, and it gets even better when Leox pulls out Geode's Heartstone. And what do they notice?
There are new formations on the surface, and they think that Geode might be regenerating.
I die.
Is this like Groot as
yes,
a tiny little plant?
Yes.
I'm so happy Geode is
I was like, how could you, Claudia? How could you jerk us around like this? With hope, anything is possible. And
oh my god,
I wreck the entire last half of this book.
Me too. I loved it though. It was such a good story.
This was such a wonderful, wonderful story. I know. I'm sad to say goodbye to it because we know this is the last young adult novel of this era for us. So it's weird to say goodbye to that. But
I did not expect the Sith to be involved in any
No.
regards or to find this thorn seed that was made from the Drengir or to even have the Drengir to turn into beings of light. If the Drengir are all connected, does that mean all Drengir everywhere turn into
That's what I would assume,
wow?
right?
But also, they said, I think for now that they're beings of light. Is there a possibility that these trees can be
Oh,
corrupted and go back into Drengir, the crazed?
no. Why would you even put that out?
Sorry, but that's where my brain was like, I don't know. I kind of like the Drengir. They're fun.
One problem at a
I
time.
know. I was thinking more of like current, like sequels era. Like
Oh my
Rey runs
God,
into a
imagine
Drengir.
that Rey goes to Kashyyyk to visit Chewie
Mm-hmm.
and finds this grove. Okay, well, I'm excited because next up we're reading the last of the middle
Yeah.
grades novel, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh,
We're
I
both
also
so
have it right here.
prepared.
I knew I was never gonna remember the name, so I had to have
Same.
it right next to me. There it is, A Valiant Vow by Justina Ireland. We're really excited to cover this one, and this will again be the last of that storyline
Mm-hmm.
before we make it on to the final adult novel.
My goodness.
I know. We'll probably do 2 episodes.
I think 2 episodes on this
on
one.
this. Yeah. I'm proud of us for getting this done in the time that we did.
Yeah.
So
This book had a lot of things happen, and it was all wonderful things that could not be
we
left
couldn't
out.
leave out. Yeah, exactly. Well, was there anything else I guess you wanted to talk about before we start wrapping up?
Do I have anything else to talk about? I'm sure there's some question in my mind at some point, but for now, nope.
Awesome. I think for this week, I had another creator I wanted to highlight really
yes.
quick. So we are going to talk about Emily Creates.
Love it.
Yes. And so this is, you can find her on Instagram. It's Emily Creates, but spelled with a K on the Creates. So go check her out. If you are a fan of Anakin or Obi-Wan or Ahsoka, but mostly Anakin, boy, do I have great news for you. She does the most amazing prints, stickers, all kinds of stuff. And on her Etsy shop currently, it's heavy on the Anakin. So anybody that is a huge Anakin fan, this is for you. So you can go check out her Etsy shop. It's, etsy.com/shop/Emily Creates. But I'm sure you can find it via her Instagram. So go give her a follow. Check out her shop and see what she has to offer. So yeah, just wanted to shout her out and cool.
Love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, is that it?
I think that's
We're
it.
done. All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for your support. We hope you'll subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts or on our YouTube channel, The Sacred Text, a Star Wars podcast.
Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, or Threads, The Sacred Text Podcast, or send us an email at thesacredtextpod@gmail.com.
And finally, if you would like to financially support the podcast, head over to buymeacoffee.com. You can either look up The Sacred Text Pod or it's /The Sacred Text Pod from buymeacoffee.com to donate today.
We'll see you for our next episode.
May the Force be with you.